Hi, my name is Edem Dake. I am a photo grad student. This is my first semester. I started in January of 2024 at LSU. My work has to do with thinking about photography as, or the photograph as an object that I can act upon by drawing, stitching, embroidering on, or considering sculptural um, adjustments to the image to hint at people that they should consider photography as something that isn't just a visual medium, but one that includes tactility in terms of touch. So thinking about the medium as something that can be molded or shifted and adjusted in one way or another is something that is very important to my practice. So when I think about materials in my work, I like to go for things that are more translucent for different reasons. I feel like the idea of something being sheer for me mimics like a ghostly presence, so it's not fully there, hence it's not really a present. That's why I choose to layer images, I choose to cut into images and think about the material as something translucent. So even though you're looking at the image on the paper, you're also looking through the image to what's behind it. So you're not really getting the full experience of the conventional photograph all at once. You are experiencing different things, which I feel like pushes the viewer to consider what a photograph even is. What is it representing? Is it representing something true? And when I think about how people typically view photographs, it's always like standing from a distance and then looking and then walking away. And I feel like that makes photography boring because there's so much more you can do. You can walk around the image, you can touch, so those are things that I consider when I'm making. How do I install the work? What am I including that might be of more interest within the image, causing people to move closer or to like bend, change the angle at which they're viewing something or engaging with it. Those are things that I really am intentional about when I'm making my work. So that's my brother in the background right now. He's my closest family member. We talk all the time. And with that particular work, I worked a bit differently. I usually don't include color, but I thought of including those colors which I feel like represent more of his personality and of our relationship. And he sits right on my desk, so when I'm working, I get to look at him. One of the reasons why I like to work with gold embroidery is because when I look back at ways that people have added embellishments to whether it's clothing or religious artifacts like Buddhist manuscripts or even some like old Bibles, there's always this addition of gold and of something precious. And for me, I felt like one way to tap into that with my work by embellishing on images was to use gold thread to embroider. And also when I think about gold in my life, it's always had this very palpable relationship. Gold is, Ghana was called the Gold Coast during colonial times because gold was mined from there. So there's that historical context. And then also growing up as a kid, I'd have gold bangles or gold earrings as a way to show I was worthy in some way. So with these images, I add the gold thread to show that they are worthy of consideration of being studied more closely. And it's also another tactic to catch people's eyes. So